Hurricane Helene has arrived in Florida with high wind and heavy rain. Now, the center of the storm won't make landfall until later tonight, but this live picture from a traffic camera near Tampa shows you what they're dealing with right now.
You can see the camera shaking there. They're already seeing flooding in low-lying areas with roads underwater in the Tampa area. Look at this. Storm surge there is expected to reach 5 to 8 feet. It could be twice that high at other spots on the Florida coast.
At the latest advisory, Helene was approaching a Category 4.
Yeah, and that's why officials in Florida are urging everyone to evacuate at-risk areas along the coast. And now we want to get the latest on Helene. Let's turn to WWL Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin for that. Chris?
Yeah, the last advisory at 4 o'clock, winds were at 125 miles an hour. So now we're getting hourly fixes as this is well within radar range. And the winds have actually come down to 120. Still a monster of a hurricane, but interesting that at least in the last hour, the winds have decreased a bit. We'll see if that's a trend. Probably not, as it is likely to maintain that strength or intensify, possibly becoming a 4. And that is what the official Hurricane Center's forecast is for this to become a 4. It's only 10 miles an hour below that now, just before landfall. And again, as far as the landfall goes, obviously that is where the worst of the storm will be, with the strongest of the winds, and just removed to the east, the highest of the surge. But the impacts, again, we really can't state enough how widespread they are. Basically the entire state of Florida and well northward. And it still could be a hurricane as it passes almost directly over metro Atlanta with strong winds and very heavy rainfall. We'll kind of dive into more of the details of the impacts in just a moment. Here, though, it has been a gorgeous day, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures are in the low mid 80s. So it was still a warm afternoon, but it was less humid. Dew points 50s, lower 60s. We had been for much of the afternoon more mid 60s, and those have been dropping. So even drier air moving in. And while it was comfortable this morning, it's going to be even nicer tomorrow morning. And it looks like that good feel air will stay with us through the weekend. More on that in a few minutes.
Yeah, this morning it felt amazing, Chris.